Long time no see. TEDx came to my college and they opened applications up for students to give talks, and I applied because I feel like I have a really noteworthy and mentionable story about my experience with YouTube, and I made it into the TEDx speaking round. So this is a TED Talk I gave at my college about relevancy.
Well, my name is Carmack, and I'm going to talk about my experience with using relevancy as an indicator of self-worth. Believe it or not, I was kind of a big deal once. Emphasis on kind of and once. To give you an idea of the extremes in which I've experienced relevancy, this is me staying in a hotel room with Shawn Mendes, whom you may know because he literally just won the American Music Award for Best Contemporary Artist. These are pictures fans wanted to take with me while I was on a tour. Notice that tweet? Got 723 likes. I tweeted that. These videos I posted during that time got tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of views, and I was gaining thousands of subscribers a month. And now, to give you an idea of the lower extreme, right now I gain about 2 subscribers a day, which is about 60 subscribers a month. And videos I've posted this semester haven't even reached 700 views. So let me tell you, the process of going from rooming with Shawn Mendes to then getting 2 subscribers a day and not rooming with Shawn Mendes is like not the best feeling. So this like 15 minutes of fame started in high school. For years, I'd been making sketch comedy videos. I would work on them all week and then post them on Mondays. And this got me around like 10,000 subscribers. And this rise in numbers presented a lot of opportunities that shouldn't be given to a 16-year-old. So I was invited to be a special guest at this convention in DC called MagCon, which was a Viner meet and greet convention, Mag meet and greet. And this is where I had met and stayed with Shawn Mendes and all of these other famous Viners. And in just this weekend, I'd gained 10,000 followers across all of my social medias by just being around famous people. This was a big deal to me. It had taken 4 years to get my first 10,000. And then all of a sudden in 3 days I gained 10,000 more. I was really digging this like minimal effort, maximum reward kind of deal. The only thing I really had to do was try and convince them to hang out and like me, which meant I had to adopt their lifestyle, which simply put is relatable and douchey. So in just this weekend, I went from taking pictures of me and my cat, putting them on Instagram, to then biting my lip, wearing a beanie, and using just the worst Instagram filter. My cat was really disappointed. And so, just in this one weekend, wanting to be relevant changed how I acted. Following this event, I got invited to be on a tour called Press Play. They would fly or Amtrak me out to different cities around the country where fans would come pay to meet me and all the other YouTubers that were on this tour. And I noticed that my numbers were still going up. Like, I was gaining a lot of subscribers and followers on Twitter, and it was just like the Viner convention. Being around famous people meant you were just going to grow naturally. And so I permanently adopted that douchey, relatable vlogger style, and I made videos like, what guys don't say in dating advice. Like, I was 16, I had no authority on talking about why or how people date. And so, as my numbers went up, so did my ego. There was a stop in New York City where these young Viners, the Dolan twins, got this brand deal with this clothing company, and they were sent a ton of free pocket tees. I love pocket tees, and I didn't get sent any. I asked the manager of the store, like, hey, can I get in this brand deal? And he said, no, you don't have enough followers. And this was the first time I was like, whoa, what are you, like, I'm a big deal. How would this company not want my promotion? My audience was now making me feel entitled. So, fast forward a little bit, I'm in Philadelphia now. And I'm rooming with Chase Goring, whom you may know because he was on season 3 of The X Factor. And I remember opening the window and just screaming. Oh, I felt so good. I was rooming with a reality TV star. I had been sent to this fancy hotel, and for free. I think this was the peak at which I felt like I'm a celebrity. And then as soon as this stop was over, I got kicked off of that tour. I had been so focused on myself and the growth of my own channel. I had put no effort into the actual tour. And so I was selling no tickets. So I was only costing press play. And this was a huge blow. This was the tipping point of my relevancy. It started to plummet because I had gained my audience from the people on that tour. And so not being around them anymore meant I wasn't going to get bigger. And since I had switched genres from sketch comedy to relatable vlogging, the original 10,000 subscribers I had gained all left because I stopped making content they had subscribed to see. So I found myself with no real audience. And to make it even worse, I started comparing myself to the people who I used to be on tour with. I did some research to see where they were now. And Shawn Mendes, when I met him, he was just a Viner. Now he's one of the most successful musicians in the entire world. And he gets, on Facebook, 6.8 million likes. My YouTube Facebook page has about 400. Chase Goring, the guy who was in the room with me when I was yelling out the window, is now one of the most known America's Got Talent characters. He has 2 audition videos he posted this year, which all added up have 16 million views, which is 14 million more than I've made in the past 8 years. The Dolan twins, who got the free clothes and I didn't, have 4.7 million subscribers, which is 4.7 million more than I do. And the tour I was on, thriving. They are still going and doing really well without me. And so I felt left behind, and I felt really angry because at one point, I was with all of these people who are now so much bigger than I am. Like, we were friends. I had let my identity get wrapped up into the idea of being famous. And so when I was losing all of my views, I started to hate myself. I felt like this giant part of me was crumbling. And so I realized I needed to make a decision. I either keep posting these relatable things that made me feel so unsatisfied to make just because I wanted to be famous, or make things I'm proud of until it gets me somewhere. And this seems like an easy decision to make, but you gotta keep in mind the past few years, I had been gaining so many subscribers and views from just being around people. I was becoming successful by showing up. I wasn't really doing anything. So this idea of waiting and actually putting in work was now a new idea to me. And so after years of picking the wrong decision, I finally picked authenticity over relevancy. And so I started to make sketch comedy videos again. And ironically enough, since I was now developing myself as a person instead of the success of my YouTube channel, I applied to be a representative for the clothing company that didn't send me free clothes. And so they have this competition. For an entire school semester, you market their product, and the winner gets flown to Guatemala for free. So I busted my ass. I annoyed literally every single person I know, buy their clothes, I want to win. Because I narrowed my focus. I wanted to win. I love traveling. And at the end of the semester, I beat 2,000 other people and I won the trip to Guatemala. And this was crazy to me because they didn't take me to Guatemala because I was famous or relevant. They took me there because I worked hard. And so now my subscribers and views, they're still going down. The problem was, for the longest time, I had mooched my entire audience off of other people's followings. So now I had to start from the ground up. I needed to develop an audience who knew me for my content, not other people's. I didn't want to be famous or successful because of association. I wanted to do it on my own terms. So one of the things I did is I made a video. It was a music video about how much I like coffee. It's probably one of the worst songs in the entire world. I don't recommend you ever watch it. But I made it for myself. You know, I didn't make it because I was like, this is so relatable. It's going to make me famous. There's actually one video in particular I made that I just absolutely loved. I put a lot of effort into it. I choreographed fight scenes. Special effects editing made it look like I was having a magic spell battle in Barnes & Noble's. And I loved it so much, I submitted it to this competition YouTube was running called Next Up, where they pick the top creators in the United States and fly them to New York. I sent them this video, And I won. They liked the video so much they took me to the YouTube headquarters, gave me a $2,500 grant to buy video equipment. They put me in a really nice hotel. And you know, this shift from wanting to be relevant and making things I didn't like to doing things I was proud of until it got me somewhere was actually working. Like, yeah, the people I was on tour with get a lot more likes than I do, but that clothing company only gave them t-shirts. They gave me an entire trip to Latin America. Chase Goring might get a lot more views than I do on YouTube, but they never fed him steak for an entire week. It took him to an escape room in New York City. They did that for me. And they did these things for me not because I'm famous or relevant, but they were rewarding hard work. And now I've branched out from just YouTube to develop my skills as a videographer, as a photographer, as a graphic designer. And as of right now, I've developed 5 logos for different companies. I am now a freelance wedding videographer. I'm starting a portrait photography business, and I'm going to California this summer to do an internship in LA. I've focused all this time and mental energy from worrying about being relevant to self-development and becoming a better person. And I've learned that success is a byproduct of passion, hard work, and self-confidence, because you need to be able to believe in your capability to strive. And you can't worry about other people being better than you. The moment you worry about other people's relevancy is the moment that you start to fail. So you need to think about yourself first and relevancy last. Thank you.
Did you guys like that? Comment down below if any of it was relatable, or if you felt anything, or if you thought it was an absolutely terrible talk. I would love to know your feedback. Also, now that I'm done with school, expect more content. A New York City travel film will be up probably next Monday. No promises, but I'm like a minute in and it's 3 minutes long, but it takes forever to expect more stuff. I hope you guys liked my TED Talk. Where there's a will, there's a way. Hold on, wait. I need some coffee. My name is Will, and have a nice day.